Hello. Welcome to another English story. Do you want to speak English more naturally? Do you want to sound confident when you talk? Then today I will teach you a powerful method called the shadowing technique. It is simple but effective. Shadowing means you listen carefully to someone speaking in English, then repeat every word immediately, trying to copy their tone, speed, and emotion. You become like their shadow, mirroring how they speak. In this video, I will tell you a story that is both inspiring and emotional. Let's start. My name is Rachel Thomas. I'm 17 years old and I live in Portland, Oregon. At school, I always sit in the back of the classroom. It's not because I'm shy. I'm not. I sit there because I feel tired of the world, tired of everything happening at home, tired of life being complicated. My mom works long hours at a nursing home, and my dad used to work in a car factory. But 2 years ago, he lost his job, and everything changed. Since then, he spends most days on the couch. Sometimes he drinks, sometimes he yells, sometimes he cries. I try not to judge him, but it's hard. He was different before. He used to carry me on his shoulders, take me to the park, fix my bike when it broke. Now, he can't fix anything, not even his own heart. At school, I don't have many friends. I'm not like the other girls. I don't have the latest clothes, I don't post selfies, and I don't go to dances. After school, I work part-time at a small pharmacy. Then I go home to help my mom cook and study late into the night. That's my life. It's exhausting. It's not easy. But somewhere deep inside me, there's a voice, a quiet voice that whispers, you can do something more. You can change your future. That voice has been with me since I was 10. It started the day my grandma Emma got sick. She had diabetes. One afternoon, she fell and hit her head. I was the one who found her. I called 911 and stayed by her side, holding her hand, telling her everything would be okay. That day, I realized I wanted to help people. I wanted to know how to stop pain. I wanted to make people better. But when your world is falling apart, dreams feel impossible. One afternoon, walking home from school, I saw a poster on the library fence. It said, "Free pre-med workshop for high school students this weekend." My heart jumped. I tore it off and ran home. At dinner, I asked my mom, "Can I go?" She looked tired. Her hands were red from scrubbing floors, her eyes heavy. But she smiled a little. "If it's free," she said, "then yes. I'll even walk you there." I wanted to cry. On Saturday morning, we walked 2 miles to the city library where the workshop was held. There were 10 students, most wearing clean clothes and shiny shoes. I wore my older brother's jacket and sat quietly in the corner. But when the teacher started speaking, something inside me shifted. He talked about the human heart, how it works, how it can stop, and how doctors can bring it back to life. He showed us a model of a human torso with plastic ribs and rubber lungs. We practiced CPR. When it was my turn, my hand shook, but I followed the steps. Push, count, breathe, push, count, breathe. The teacher nodded and said, "Rachel, you have excellent hands, calm and precise, very smart." No one had ever said anything like that to me before. I felt a tiny spark inside me light up. I felt hope. After class, he gave me a worn-out medical book. "Read this," he said. "It's not easy, but you'll understand more than you think. I carried it home like it was a treasure. Every night, I read a little, looking up every word I didn't know. Slowly, I began to understand. Slowly, I began to feel like I could actually do this, like I could become a doctor one day. One afternoon, at the pharmacy, an old woman collapsed near the cash register. People screamed. Someone called 911. I ran to her. Her lips were blue. She wasn't breathing. I started CPR. Push, count, breathe, push, count, breathe. Minutes passed. She gasped. She blinked. She was alive when the paramedics arrived. One of them asked, "Are you in medical school?" I laughed. Not yet, but I felt proud. The next week, the teacher announced a scholarship for a summer pre-med program at Oregon State University. Everyone wanted it, but I needed it the most. I stayed late after class, asking questions, reading extra chapters, preparing as much as I could. Then, one afternoon, the teacher called my name. I walked to the front, hands shaking. He handed me a letter. "You earned this." I had been accepted. When I got home, I showed the letter to my mom. She hugged me tightly. "You're going to be the first doctor in our family," she whispered. I could feel the weight of her pride and love. Even my dad, standing quietly in the doorway, said something I hadn't heard in a long time. "I'm proud of you, kid." That night, I sat at the kitchen table with my younger brother, Max. "Are you a doctor now?" he asked. "Not yet," I said, "but I'm getting close." The summer pre-med program began. Walking into the hospital for the first time was intimidating. Bright lights, doctors moving quickly, the smell of sanitizer and coffee, patients everywhere. I felt nervous, but also like I belonged. Our instructor, Dr. Lin, said, "You don't need to be rich to become a doctor. You need two things: discipline and heart." I had both, and I was determined to prove it. We learned first aid, checked blood pressure, studied human organs, and practiced patient care. Every time I touched a stethoscope, I thought of my grandma Emma. I remembered why I started this journey. One afternoon, I was assigned to shadow a real ER doctor. It was chaos. A boy with a broken arm, an elderly man with chest pain, a little girl with high fever, and then an ambulance brought in a woman with no pulse. Doctors moved fast, hands steady and sharp. I watched, frozen, heart racing, amazed by their skill. Then, slowly, the woman's chest rose. She breathed again. I felt a wave of relief and awe. Dr. Lin asked me, "Rachel, what are you thinking?" I said, "This is what I want to do. I want to save people, bring them back to life." She smiled. "You will, Rachel. You already have the heart for it." At the end of the program, Dr. Lin handed out certificates. Then she announced a special award for the student who showed the most growth, compassion, and leadership. My heart pounded. She called my name, Rachel Thomas. I walked to the front shaking and received a small white coat with my name embroidered on it, Rachel T., future doctor. I held it in my hands like gold. When I got home, I showed it to my mom. She cried, laughed, and hugged me tightly. I knew she believed in me more than anyone else. That night, I also saw my dad smile quietly and say, "You've come so far, kid." I felt proud, not just of the coat, but of myself. I realized my life had changed forever. I wasn't just the quiet girl at the back anymore. Over the summer, I worked hard every day. I studied, read, practiced, and shadowed doctors. I learned not only about medicine, but about patience, courage, and empathy. Every new skill, every new patient reminded me of my grandma, my dreams, and the quiet voice inside me that kept saying, "You can do it, Rachel. Now it's your turn." Play this video again. Pause after each sentence. Repeat it like a shadow. Practice every day. Even 10 minutes helps. Believe in yourself. Remember, no matter how small you feel, no matter how hard life is, your dreams are real if you work for them. Thank you for learning with me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories and shadowing practice. See you next time.